It's always amazing to find out something new about a topic that you've been studying or have been involved with for over 20 years. And so, as an herbalist, I've been involved with Chinese herbs since 1990, so that makes it 28 years this year since I became involved with it. And one of the herbs that I was really fascinated with when I started out as an herbalist was the herb Schizandra. Schizandra is a little berry, and it has all 5 flavors. So if you ever bite into the actual berry, you get all the whole cascade of flavors. In fact, most people never bite into it more than once. It's bitter, it's sour, it's sweet, it has just a whole array of different tastes to it. But the overpowering one is usually the sour. And so generally, Schizandra is used as an extract. In fact, I use an extract of Schizandra in my formula Tianqi. It's the biggest herb in the entire formula. It's also part of my formula Inner Peace. And one of the reasons I use it is because it clears the mind. It also detoxifies the liver. It's a lung and liver chi tonic, meaning it builds up physical energy through balancing the liver and the lungs. As far as a lung tonic, it allows you to take deeper breaths. It's a very potent antioxidant. There's just a whole slew of reasons why to use Schizandra. But today, I just found out something completely new about it. And I was doing some other research and found out that Schizandra functions as an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. That's a pretty big word. You're probably wondering what that means. Basically, what it is you have an enzyme in your brain called acetylcholinesterase, which interferes or clears excessive choline activity out of your brain. So if you have too much acetylcholine, your brain has this little gateway by which it removes it. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because most people are actually deficient in acetylcholine. And the number one drug they actually give you for Alzheimer's and dementia is a drug that functions as an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. And so what it does, the theory, is that less of the enzyme, less of the clearing allows you to have more of the actual acetylcholine activity in your brain. And why is that important in Alzheimer's and basically in all memory? Because acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter that's most responsible for the speed by which your brain works. And it's tied up in memory and recall. And so their theory is, because most people with Alzheimer's and memory issues are deficient in acetylcholine, the theory is less of the enzyme allows more to be in the brain. Which always fascinates me because it points out one of the big flaws in medicine, and that is they'll give you something for the enzyme, but they won't actually tell you how to build more acetylcholine or give you a common everyday supplement that allows your brain to do that. This is one of the reasons why I have choline and DMAE in Tianqi, because they both have a direct effect on the brain's production of acetylcholine. So now that I know that Schizandra actually makes sure that your brain is working right and not overproducing that enzyme and clearing it out, so it's another complement to how the actual formula works. So I didn't know this about Schizandra. And that fascinates me even beyond Schizandra, because there's 2 or 3 other herbs that I've studied, that are all in Tianqi, by the way, that do something very similar to it. They act as acetylcholinesterase inhibitors. One is just green tea extract. The main antioxidant in green tea has that ability too. And the other one's an herb called club moss, which has that effect of freeing up acetylcholine in your brain so you have clearer thought, you're able to process information quicker. And all these things are in Tianqi. So to get back to Schizandra though, it really fascinates me. Here it is 28 years later, and I'm still learning things about one of my favorite herbs. it was really fascinating to me a few years ago to find out that the National Institute of Health has actually done studies on Schizandra and shown that it gets rid of or prevents damage to your liver from taking Tylenol. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Tylenol's in excessive amounts, which can be any amount for different people depending on the state of your liver at the time, or if you drink alcohol, causes liver damage. So even if you just take 1,000 milligrams and you've been drinking, you're going to damage your liver. If you take 1,000 milligrams for a prolonged period of time without drinking, you're going to damage your liver. It turns out that Schizandra actually prevents liver toxicity from taking Tylenol. I should be saying acetaminophen so I don't get slammed. But the reality is it actually prevents that. And so here's this herb that we use in Chinese herbology because it's a tonic. It's a food that builds your system up and has great benefits for your mind, your physical body. It also detoxes your liver, your lungs. It's been used in therapeutic doses to treat hepatitis by itself successfully in China. It's an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor. It has all these different functions, a wide range of functions that help your body to actually maintain its own health. And on the other side, it's one of the most protective herbs that you could ever take.